Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen. Star Citizen Alpha 4.3.0 is going to be going live within the next couple of weeks, and there have been tons of updates and changes with this patch. I want to talk about the state of the PTU as it is now, the additions and tweaks, the new features and content, some of which may have been sort of hidden and obscured from you, some bits you might have missed, as well as some problems that 4.3 has to overcome, and what else is almost here. I think the most common question I get about Alpha 4.3 and any patch is, when is it going to be live? We don't know for sure. It's going to be at some point in August. Could easily be next week. Could be the week after though. Alpha 4.2.1 was released on Thursday the 17th of July, so I'm expecting 4.3 to be on Thursday the 21st of August personally, to sort of follow along that kind of theme. CIG like to release patches on Thursdays where possible, so they have a panicked day of hotfixing before the weekend if needed. It's also quite likely they've chosen what day they want to release now already, with marketing and plans for the release of the L21 Wolf, the new Kruger light fighter. There is no wipe planned for the patch, or expected I should say, beyond the usual refinery jobs and consumables getting wiped. Let's talk about the state of Alpha 4.3 on the PT at the moment. Well, it's nearly ready, based on the PT patch, at least in my opinion. The patch has struggled with various issues. It's kind of characterized by crashes caused by audio bugs, boost and space break, freight elevator problems. In the latest PTU build, though, they made further audio adjustments around ships that may slightly decrease their audio fidelity, but it's going to mitigate almost all the crashes that were occurring until they can fix it in an upcoming update. Also, the build has further freight elevator repair work implemented that should self-detect many problems encountered and reset the elevator affected. This will help many of the issues occurring, but possibly not all. A side effect of the reset, though, is that it can cause cargo on the lift to be deleted if it breaks while the cargo is on it. So if the elevator breaks when the cargo's on it, they can be deleted. This should be rare, but it's worth mentioning in case it does occur. I suppose it's how rare that is, if it's a problem or not, right? They will continue to polish and optimize into 4.3.0's live release, and they've solved a lot of location and mission issues in the latest PTU patch. However, there are still some known issues that they are contending with. They've disabled medical beacons for 4.3, for example. I suppose that's more of a statement rather than a known issue. Multiple hangar requests at the same time at Onyx facilities can result in the ATC just not responding for some players. There's also some problems with Onyx facilities and mission routing and kiosks getting stuck there sometimes. The Maria Pure of Heart Hospital doesn't have a sales inventory. Players can sometimes spawn in the center of Pyro or Stanton after selecting their primary residence and spawning. Trains are popping in when they arrive, and there are some backpack issues. You sort of reload with invisible mags, but also I noticed something a lot of people complaining about, it's not on the known issues, is that backpacks can break after opening containers. That's essential for me. That's a blocker, really, because this patch is very FPS heavy with the Onyx facilities. You don't want stuff like that happening, which will really be as bad as freight elevators being broken. So let's talk about some of the major features and highlights of that 4.3 patch and dig into some of the other stuff that you might not know about, or stuff that CIG have announced that's not in the patch notes. The Onyx facilities, these are a load of locations and the main pull to this new patch. There's 120 of these massive underground PvE-ish focused dungeons, 10 on each moon of the Stanton system, to explore and to do repeatable missions to loot. These are supposed to be sandbox activities rather than an event, rather than a mission chain, although they do combine missions. There are big rewards for getting hard drives and general loot out of there. They are a bit like contested zones in Pyro. It's got a similar sort of element to it, but they are in Stanton. It is a bit of a different vibe. There is a hard armistice area in the lobby, but the research and engineering wings are currently open in these facilities, along with the main lobby. More wings are going to open up with Alpha 4.3.1, and that will actually also end the Regen Crisis arc that they're currently doing story-wise. These facilities are meant to be PvE focused, mostly, but PvP can occur there. The facilities have NPCs with new loadouts, there's FPS AI turrets, you can get missions by entering areas automatically by picking up stuff or interacting with stuff. Cooperative zones were pushed to a later patch. It was supposed to be combined with Onyx facilities, but we don't know when cooperative zones are going to return as a feature. This could be part of 4.3.1 in September, but they were expected to enforce and encourage PvE more. Your experience of Onyx facilities and these new missions and dungeons is going to be vastly dependent on whether you encounter PvP, if you do them solo, if you do them in a group. I hope and expect that this will be the most polarizing, controversial bit of the patch, which is good, because if I'm not having major bugs with transit, freight elevators, I can do what I want, and I'm complaining about I'm getting attacked when I'm trying to do something, or yes, I'm able to do this gameplay, but the gameplay isn't great or whatever, that's significantly better than crashing and bugs and stuff that prevents you from doing the gameplay. CIG will get there with the PvE PvP balance. I genuinely believe that. The live build might be a lot better for players as well wanting that PvE experience. Let me explain why. The resource drive. This is an event that's happening in 4.2.1, but further improvements and much needed freight elevator fixes have been put into 4.3, and CIG have announced that they are extending the resource drive into the 4.3 patch, and it's expected to be the whole of the patch as well, so it will end when 4.3.1 goes live. CIG is saying that they want players to enjoy the event as intended. Player density is one of the problems that may be alleviated at those Onyx facilities, because people want to play the new hotness, but they also want to try the resource drive event without the problems and the freight elevator bugs that the event was having. And it will at least take some players away that are going to be doing that. Mission distribution updates are also going to help. New update here. It includes an updated way of directing players around locations for missions that are unlimited, such as hauling missions, Wicklow missions, and the Onyx facility locations. This system should greatly improve the spread of these when many players are attempting the same mission, meaning they go to different locations and don't pile into the same one. There are some other mitigations at the Onyx facilities as well. There is a hangar for you to actually land at. There's freight elevators there to actually store your gear and everything. There are some medical facilities as well, so you can clear off your injuries. There's pretty much no incentive to do PvP. Anyway, let's take a look at some other features. Ladders V2, they've returned. They got disabled in 4.2.1 when they were being tested, and then they were in the 4.3 PTU, and they got disabled, but now they've returned again, hopefully sticking around this time. It makes ladders loads better. You can lean off them. You don't get sucked into them when you pass by. You actually have to look at them and walk into them. You can jump off them. You do get blocked by objects above and below you, though, other players or whatever, which can be annoying, but you can, again, jump off the ladder now. It's a much, much better experience. Also, dynamic snows here. Snow's got the dynamic rain treatment that we had in 4.2. It does have a bit of a different look and feel now. It's only in some limited occasions where Snow already is in-game, like Microtech. They've been tweaking the audio and stuff like that during the PTU. It's actually reasonably good now, Snow. Light fighter tunings. So this is actually quite an extensive change. There's lots and lots of updates to light fighters and their archetype, but also for individual ships within that category. So the Gladius Arrowhawk, Defender, Talons, Blade, Cartu Owl, Mustangs, they all have had some sort of tweaks, giving it the same treatment as heavy and medium fighters that they've had recently. Agility, responsiveness, acceleration, focused on the ship's role is now much clearer. I think people are going to enjoy flying light fighters a lot more. And talking about ships and light fighters, CIG have announced and revealed that the Kruger L-21 Wolf light fighter is coming with the patch. They're going to be selling it soon. It's going to be flyable. It's very cool. It's got 2 size 4 bespoke Gatling weapons. Hopefully it won't be too OP. It'll be just in a nice little area. Because they're bespoke weapons as well, it doesn't really matter what size they are. It's purely based on how they decide to balance them. You are not going to be able to change them out for different weapons. It's partly because of the way they fold out of the vehicle. Something that's going to make a lot of people happy as well. A variety of ships have been added to the shops. The Drake Golem, the Misk Fortune, the Mirai Guardian, the Hornet Ghost Mark II. So you can grab them. There are some new Wicklow ships as well for missions and the loot pool there. The Misk Starlance Attack, the Drake Golem, and the Anvil Terrapin Medic. You can grab them from Wicklow. There are some other bits in the patch as well. There's 3 new hairstyles. There's the Geist Sniper and ASD stealth armors. There's the Volt Zenith laser rifle. I say laser rifle rather than the sniper rifle because it's more of a marksman rifle, really. This was so OP in the PTU cycle at the start of it, and then they've nerfed it a little. It's still pretty powerful, but it's got a bit of kick to it, a little bit, and it's not quite so many rounds per minute. There have been a ton of fixes for elevators, transit, crashes, AI, specific ships, locations, missions, audio and weather updates. There's a load of updates to server meshing and territory configuration. Currently in the PTU, you're spawning in hangars again, which is great. 90% of the time, I want to spawn in my hangar. 10% of the time, I want to spawn elsewhere. I wish there was an option to choose whether I spawn in my hab or the hangar. More precisely, this is spawn from relog rather than spawning from getting taken out. A few other bits I want to mention. September is Pirate Week or month for Star Citizen, which is where most of 4.3 will be time-wise. That's where it's going to land. Last year's Pirate Week didn't have much of a PvP vibe. It was more skull, pirate, and ship liveries, and try and complete Pirate Swarm. There was a treasure map, a treasure puzzle, a gold doubloon you could get, and a Pirate E screenshot competition. But it did also have a bit of a focus on the Blockade Runner event and missions that had pirates blocking stations and had players taking them out, bringing in and liberating supplies. The new engineering version 2 may very well turn up during the patch cycle as well on the tech preview. CIG said recently that they had moved code to a staging area ready for that in the monthly report. And there are rumours and expectations of an Evocati test for Vulkan updates, AI updates, some stuff like that they may be doing this week. It's also possible that some of those features will be subsumed into 4.3 if they're ready. Could also be that they're preparing the tech preview branch for engineering, or it could be none of that. We'll have to wait and see. We'll be able to talk about the Evocati updates and tech preview tests. We might not be able to show them based on what's going on with them. Within Evocati, there is NDAs for showing of footage and videos and that sort of stuff, but typically you can discuss what is being talked about and what is being tested. Boom! That's it for your update for 4.3 today. Very excited to see where this patch goes. If they can solve some more of those issues, then I'm going to be very, very, very happy with that patch. I'd like to respawn at the medical facilities at the Onyx facilities, actually. But yeah, an end to the sort of instability that 4.3 was having with those crashes and elevator fixes. Great. Really, really happy with that. Tell me what you think about Alpha 4.3. If you've been playing it on the PTU now, are you excited for anything? Are you terrified of something? Tell me in the comments. Also, something you should do is go below and click on the links to NordVPN. Oh, nordvpn.com/boardgamer. Get yourself a VPN for better accessibility, security, and privacy on the interwebs. I use NordVPN, and maybe you will too. Big discounts for using my link. Thanks for watching. Every month we have a ship giveaway, and we're giving away an RSI Meteor, that new medium fighter with lifetime insurance and a gameplay package for Star Citizen. Everything you need to play with a cool fighter and pew-pew some fools. Just comment on any of our videos made during this month to be in for a chance of winning that. Something else that you might like to do is like, share, subscribe to our videos. There's a join button underneath as well. There's Patreon. You give us a little bit of money each month and it helps out the channel immensely. Occasionally we have some exclusive videos. Come to my Discord, discord.gg/boardgamer. Also, you should comment on all the videos, not just because of the giveaway, but also because you can give me feedback. And I want to say a massive thank you to the people that have supported the channel via any medium. But genuinely, you guys that go the extra mile to use that join button or Patreon, it is genuinely so appreciated. Thank you so much.